Oh, don't record. I thought we could just be silent today. Is that good? Is that okay? Let's just do that. Okay, then I can meditate. Instead of counting breaths, trying to sound intelligent. Good? Any questions? No? Meditation questions? Well, okay. Any questions?
Thank you, Geshe, for teaching, and thank you for this wonderful silence and the ability to do the meditation on our own without guidance. My question comes roundabout again with what Arya Nagarjuna is teaching of seeds and no causes and no results, basically, or they're and the yelling husband. As you know, recently I've started working in a safe house for people who are experiencing domestic violence. And you also teach the 4 steps. And so I'm trying to work with this with people who are in that situation, because it can be a revolving door situation. And it's easy to teach them about seeds, but what about that revolving door, or the fact that whether they're men or women, they keep getting into that same situation or going back into it? And it's like how to break that cycle at that moment so that you can then plant seeds for the future. And so this is something I'm working with these people, and I would love some wisdom of how to work with it. Thank you.
Yeah, so first of all, I think there is a gap between not yelling back and the husband changing. So during that time, if there's abuse, right, physical, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, then I think it's important for us to tell people, for Buddhists to tell people, you don't have to sit there. You're not supposed to sit there and do nothing and wait for your seeds to change, okay? So I think it's important to encourage people to get a break or take care of themselves and go to a safe house, or, you know. So we're not saying that you should understand the husband's coming from you and stop yelling at other people and then, you know, just go through the abuse. We're not saying that. So you should attempt to remove yourself from the abuse. And then people like you should try to help people remove themselves from the abuse. But it may not work, you know, because we haven't changed the seeds. So I think, but you still have to try. You still have to say, you should leave, here's a safe house. But things may get worse when they come to the safe house, you know. So I think that's important to tell people. Question?
Yeah, so then also, there's at least two people involved in this. There's the abuser and the abused, and we need to protect both of them and help both of them not to continue to produce those seeds. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't quite know how to do that.
Yeah. I think there's also a thing of capacity and opportunity. So I think you have to have capacity and opportunity. So do you have the capacity? How many people can you teach at once? My Lama taught, he really changed 2 people. I knew him for 30 years. He changed 2 people during that time. So it's hard to change a person, you know. I think so you have to be what do you call it? Realistic about how much you can do right now before you get 1,000 arms. So I think you may not be able to help the abuser and the abused at the same time. You can try, but I think also if you overestimate your capacity, you might not be able to help either one. So I think you have to, in a practical way, you have to see how much you can do without getting exhausted, you know. And there's a big debate about, you know the debate, but has the Buddha perfected the 2 goals? You know, is the Buddha perfect? And has the Buddha perfected the service, what others need? Has the Buddha fulfilled what others need? And they say yes. This is a debate at the beginning of the Pramanavartika. And they say, yeah, he has fulfilled because he has the best method. But that doesn't mean there's no more poor people. You see, he knows how to stop poverty. But then there's opportunity, you know. Will they listen to you? So there's capacity and there's opportunity. Will they take your advice? You know. So they say the Buddha has perfected what others need just by being able to help them if they choose to listen. Yeah. So that's the second thing I can think of. The third thing is, what was the third thing? Yeah, in DCI we have a nice teaching called the 4 flowers, and the third one is what? Yeah, that your environment is coming from you also. So in a way, it's helpful to everyone involved should understand that the person being abused and the person abusing them are both coming from us. You see, like you wouldn't see, that's this thing about the definition of the Sambhogakaya, that you can only see 10th level bodhisattvas around you. But they may be seeing violence to each other every day, you see. So really, in the end, that's the emptiness of things, right? The things around you, even the people that you see are coming from you. So one way to help stop violence would be to, the abuser and the abused, is to see where are we abusing people in a small way. Okay. Other question? It's pretty long. Yeah, let's let other people. Okay. It's up to Joel. It's not my decision.
It seems like at the beginning of the meditation, when we are perceiving the noise of the fan, we're perceiving things incorrectly, but then by the end of the meditation, when we are bringing the Guru down into our heart, we're perceiving things correctly. So at what point in between do we actually start perceiving things correctly?
Yeah, good. And by the way, Wade, right? He's a new staff member here, and apparently he's a maintenance master, and he's been fixing many of your houses. He has this skill, and I'd like to thank him. Yeah, there's the official start time and there's the unofficial start time. So, you're supposed to start seeing things right as you go to your past life. So in theory, as you observe your past life, you are still seeing things that's coming from their own side. You see? Otherwise we would have a fake past life and a real past life. You see what I mean? We would be saying, like I was interesting, I spent the day yesterday with Michael and Melissa, so in my past life today I was pregnant, which I've never thought of doing. It never occurred to me to try. And then it was interesting. But while I'm looking at the pregnant lady who's me, if I don't, we're not even supposed to be thinking that she's coming from my seeds. The imagination of it is also coming from my seeds. Probably they're the same seeds of why I see Melissa pregnant or Katie pregnant. So, I agree, Wade. I think you could kick it in any time. Yeah. Officially, you're supposed to think that things are fake. Second husband, officially you're supposed to do it after the past life thing. So after you finish that, the Garjana would say, where's the line? When do you stop thinking about your past life? Today, I guess. But I think you're right. I think it might be really useful to start thinking about the fake pregnant lady also. Okay, good. It's up to Joel.
谢谢老师的美好教授。我的问题是冥想的问题，两个问题。第一个问题呢，就是，我在家里做这个冥想的时候，能否是可以分开两部分来做？因为在做缘起这一部分的话，大概就需要了有40到45分钟。这个时候我的意识已经，就是很疲惫了，在抗争了。我要上厕所，我的脚很疼，然后告诉我各种的这声音，就是我会很挣扎，很疲惫。就是这是一部分。第二部分呢，就是在去年太营的时候，老师。
一的部分。And then add the buffet.
你总结一下你的问题。
就是我能不能45冥想分两部分来做，在家里的时候不要1到5一次做完，就因为太疲惫了。
By the way, Geshe, she's the CSP. She's the first CSP.
Oh.
Yeah. Who come here? Yeah. So the question is, when I do lion stance at my house, I spend like 40 to 50 minutes on the first part. Then I learn part 1 to 5. But when I reach, usually when
2 to 5.
Now I learn all 5 parts.
Yeah, good.
And then usually when I have done 40 minutes, I feel very tired and I want to go to PP. So do I have to finish all 5 parts at one section, or can I separate them in my daily practice?
For sure, you can take a break, and you can, I think it's impossible. I mean, the goal is to do all 5 parts, but it may take you a year or something. She's from our China Soft Power program, which is where Chinese executives are learning ancient culture to take on the One Belt, One Road internationally. And it's 40 select business owners. So she's the first one to come to Diamond Mountain. So I'd like to thank her. Yeah. We had an interesting idea. It just occurred to me one day in the CSP program was to tell these business owners, just add a minute every week. Add 1 minute every week. And that comes from my 3-year retreat. When I was in 3-year retreat, I had a book by a yoga teacher, David Swenson. It's an Ashtanga book. And so I wrote him, during my break. I said, I wrote Jigme, I think. I said, can you invite David Swenson? He's like one of the most famous yoga teachers, I said, invite him to come out. We were in the desert near here. It's about an hour from here. We were in a very empty place, and 5,000 acres, and which we borrowed. And then he did come. He agreed to come. It was like a miracle. And we didn't pay him anything, I think, and he just thought it was cool and weird. So he came. I remember he came in the winter, and it was very cold. And he said, touch your toes. And I'm like, I can't. And then he came back with a telephone book. And he said, touch the telephone book. And this is in the days of telephone books. And I touched the telephone book. And then he said, tear out 1 page each day. And I'm like, there's like 1,000 pages there. He says, you're in 3-year retreat. So I did. I tore out a page each day, and then I could touch my toes. And so I think same with this. Yeah. So if you have to break, that's fine. That's wonderful. Don't worry about it. Yeah. You might have to break a few times. And I think for you guys, CSP people, you're busy. So maybe only on the weekend you can do all 5. In China, weekend starts Saturday afternoon, right? Some countries like that, yeah. Saturday, Sunday. Second, Erde Buffen? Yoma?
谢谢格式老师。
不客气。
第二个问题就是去年在太营的时候，关于空性这一部分，就是取消老师，那一部分有教授到的是取消完以后，是有一个不可能在的空间，我们需要在这个空间去感受这个空间，但是在这一次的教授当中就取消了这一部分。我想问的问题是这一部分要不要加进去？谢谢。
Second part is last time when you taught in Thailand, for the lion stance, you taught us the fake teacher and you taught us to cancel the teacher and enter into the space where the impossible teacher, where there's an impossible space. That's what she said. But this time you didn't teach this part. So I wonder why and how can I practice if I want to enter that space of emptiness? Because you said entering that space is supposed to help us understand emptiness.
I think I did it better in Thailand. So follow Thailand. And maybe tomorrow I'll record the whole 5 parts. And I'll do it that way. It's better. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Let's do we didn't do the formless realms yesterday, and let's finish those, and then we'll take a pee-pee break, okay? So I'll try to go fast through the formless realm, because we still have form, if I can find it. somebody asked me for my notes, and you're always welcome to have my notes. But I translate things unofficially for myself. So then somebody told me they showed it to some professor, and I'm like, that's not a good idea, because it's not finished. It's just my notes to myself. And in many cases, it's not correct yet. So, okay? But you're welcome to have notes. And like Kamala Shila, a lot of it's in English. And but it's all unofficial, okay? It's messy. It's not perfect. I don't like to give out things that aren't perfect. Nick knows. So, okay. Carol from Taiwan is gonna, do you want to? Just say sashi, and then go wah, wah, wah. Then after that, go sangye. Okay. Purki Geshe Michael Lira Vinci Ninde Gambadi Sangye Shindu Nite Uwadi Doko Nanda Shinga Jupasho Idam Guru Ratna Mandalaka Yatayami Chedam Soki Chonamla Chanchu Bardu Radmi Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunamki Rola Penshe Sangye Dupasho Chudan Soki Chonamla Chanchu Badu Dani Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunamki Lola Penshe Sangye Dupasho Chudan Soki Chonamla Chanchu Bardu Agni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunamki Lola Penshe Sangye Dupasho. All right then. Ready? Four formless realms. And the fifth one is called the pee-pee place. Okay. All right, so here we go. And again, I'm in Tsongkhapa. Now we're switching from Tsongkhapa. Yesterday it was from Sonawa. And Tsongkhapa is about 200 years after Sonawa. And this is from his explanation of the Jewel of Realizations by Asanga. It's an interesting text because he wrote it very young. I think he was under 30 or something, and it's huge. And it's interesting to see his development over time. So anyway, Sugme Shila Namgataya Kejeni. When we talk about the four formless realms, the first one is called infinite space, okay? So don't get confused. The ocean is space, okay? It's supposed to be. It's called infinite space. So as I said yesterday, the four formless realm levels get boring names. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. But the four formless realm meditations have sexy names. The first one's called infinite space. Again, it's not that your body, at least, is in the formless realm. It's that if you do this meditation a lot, then you will be reborn into the... And if I died right here, I would enter the formless realm right here. And there's not much need for Bardo. So Bardo purpose is to get to your next planet or your next country. And if you enter the formless realm, you kind of don't go anywhere. So there's some debate about the Bardo for a formless. So I would just enter. Then there's a debate about, well, how about Lungsam Jukpa Chikpa? What's that mean? Say again? Yeah, prana and the mind ride together like a horse and a horse rider. So how can you have thought without prana if you're in a formless realm? And then the conclusion of the scriptures is that you still have some form. You still have some subtle prana, and your mind is riding on a very subtle prana. But you have no visible body. Okay. All right. So here's the first one. If you keep doing this many hours a day for many years, you will be born into this formless realm. Okay. And Buddhists consider it sort of a waste of time. Okay. It's like doing Netflix from morning to night. I mean, there are times when you should do that, like after a long, tiring retreat. But generally, you don't want to do it all the time, okay? If you do it all the time, you'll be born into the form realm, okay? So we see it as kind of just a delay. You're just wasting time, you know. There's a depressing point of view expressed by Master Shantideva that if you waste a day on Netflix that you don't need, okay? There's days when you need to do Netflix all day. Like you're exhausted. Like Michael and Melissa should do it for one day before your next guests show up, and then your next guests show up. So that's okay. But Shantideva says, okay, if you'd like to be responsible for the suffering of 7 billion people for another day, yeah, that's okay. You need a break, you know. You know, just delay your Buddhahood one more day. You know, then you feel guilty, super guilty. So you have to balance these two things. There is a time when you should watch Netflix all day, okay? If you can find anything interesting. Okay. Suktan tope dushe rakbar tongne. So there's always this process in moving between the 8 levels of a gakcha. I'm not going to offer any money because Nick looks like he remembers. What's it mean? Yeah, what you deny. So there's 2 kinds of gakcha. One is the absence of an impossible thing, like the second husband. That's called rikpe gakcha. And then there's lamki gakcha, which is something that really does exist, like the Christmas tree. Okay, and that means the 4th form realm level, the crystal, the sugar crystal. You get bored, and you say, "I want quieter. It's not quiet enough for me," or "I want to exercise my mind." You know, this is still form. Okay, I want to go to no form. Okay, form looks too physical to me, and I would like to go to a place where there's no physical. Okay, so you're supposed to have this kind of motivation when you move from the sugar crystal to the ocean. You know, I want to drop all limitations, physical limitations. I want to open up. It's similar to vitarka and vichara. What's that? Yeah, and that's what gets you out of the desire realm. When you move from desire realm, which is the air conditioner, to the first form realm, which is your heart beating, you are rejecting something. Okay, that's gakcha. You're like, oh, the desire realm's it's too gross for me. I want something more subtle, like my heartbeat. You're doing the same thing when you move from the form realm to the formless realm. You see? You're like, I want a new kind of challenge. I'm tired of being in this little sugar crystal, you know. Let's open things up. Let's not limit ourselves physically, okay? Suktang dushe rakpa tongne, suktang tope dushe. It says physicality and concreteness, something hard. I want to drop this idea of something hard, okay? Dushe means conception. Dushe deyang tangyandu number shikching namka taye sonyambe dushe. So you keep physical things keep coming up in your mind, and you block them, and you start to expand like the ocean. So you drop physical perception, and you go to more mental. Okay, and then you get this feeling like, oh, this feels like endless. This ocean feels like the sky. It feels like endless. Okay, like that. Taye. Komber chepe. This is the kom. It's not gom. And now that we've been in translation class for 2 years, yeah, no, that's kom. Kom means get used to it. Okay, you start to get used to that. Komber chene. Ngoshi dusu. Then, after this kind of preliminary period where you're moving from the form realm to the formless realm, which is called Nyendok, that's called no, Nyendok means like the opening act, the small band that plays for the big band. Okay, Nyendok means that. So that's why you're deciding to get out of the sugar crystal. You're not really into the formless realm yet. You're just the opening band. It's just opening band's time. And then you get used to being in the formless realm. And we call that mushi. Mushi means then you reach the middle of that level. Okay? While you're transitioning, while you're moving from form to formless, your mind is still not formless. Okay? So we don't count it as formless realm. The real thing. It's not the main band yet. The main band that's playing. It's just a warm-up. There's a small band plays before the big band. And when you reach the big band, that single-pointed focus on infinity is the first form realm, formless realm. Okay? Cool? Single-pointedness on infinity, how's that? The real one, not the warm-up, not the transition mind, okay? And you'll get used to it. You'll say, oh, I must be in the first part, and now I'm in the main part, and now I'm getting ready to move to the second formless realm, okay? So if you have lots of time, if you have like 3 hours free, you know, drink a coffee between every level. No, I'm kidding. Okay. All right, second level, formless, is called infinite consciousness. And here's how Tsongkhapa describes it. Namshe taye keche ni. By the way, those of you who are learning Tibetan, this is also called a keche, which here it doesn't mean a sense door. It just means a stage or something, okay? What is this Sanskrit? Ayatana, yeah, okay. Namshe taye keche ni nanka taye so nyambe yiche de. So yiche means to think about the place where you're at, and think, oh, space is, I'm sorry. That's the gakcha here. The gakcha, yeah, good. The gakcha is the feeling that things are infinite. Got it? Okay, the old first level feeling that things are infinite becomes an obstacle, okay, to going deeper. So at the first formless realm, you have feelings of infinity, and then those feelings become an obstacle, okay, and you want to move to the second one. Gakchar tene. Gakchar tene means treat those feelings of infinity as a gotcha, okay? See them, depa, right? Tawa. See them as a, now they're holding you back. They're limiting you. Infinity is limiting you. Okay, that make a nice first line of a song. Okay, tene, yiche deni tai so, nyamdu, ye, ila chepe. So, you ready? You gotta put on your seatbelt. So in the first formless realm, you're focusing on infinity, the ocean. And then you say, oh, that's infinite, you know, that's cool. But then after a while, you're like, is there any place deeper to go? And then you realize that the state of mind which is focusing on infinity is more deep than the infinity. Okay, got it? So there's a connection between the first one and the second one. In the first formless realm, you are focusing on infinity, okay? And you watch the infinity for a while. I follow the ocean. I check out surf spots in Bali and Mexico, K49 in Baja. And I go around different places, and then I come back. And then you're like, well, there's nothing else to do. And then you say, oh, I could explore the infinity of the state of mind, which is watching infinity. Got it? So the second one is called namshitai, infinite awareness, okay? So you're blocking the infinity because it's too gross. It's not subtle enough. And then you say, well, what's more subtle than that? My mind is more subtle than that, you know? My mind is stretching infinitely. So you come into the infinity of your mind, which is the subject during the first formless realm level. Got it? Okay? So during the first formless realm level, you're watching the object of infinity. During the second formless realm level, which is called infinite awareness, you are watching your awareness of infinity, okay? And that's more infinite. And that's where we've been going to outer space and stuff like that, okay? All right. I'm going to keep it down. Then third level is called Chiang Mai. Say Chiang Mai. It's a very famous name because it's very sexy and very wrong. Okay? And there were famous monks who made the mistake of saying this was emptiness. This is the perception of emptiness. And then there were famous debates in like the 8th century, 9th century, and people proved them wrong. Okay? So this is, it feels cool, but it's not emptiness. Okay? So that's when you explain the third formless realm level to somebody, you're always supposed to say, don't stay there. And this is not emptiness, okay? So here's the description by Tsongkhapa. Chiang mebe keche ni deok de sungja chiang medo nyam de yila che de ngundu kirpatang. Oh, but when I'm focusing on my mind, as it focuses on infinity, on the second level, second formless level, it would be cooler if I just dropped all focuses, all objects. So not even my mind. So in the first level, you drop the object of infinity. In the second level, you're watching your mind. The subject becomes the object in the second level. Then when you get to the third level, you're like, you know, it'd be more cool to just drop everything. No infinity, no mind watching infinity, okay? Just drop it all. And that's called Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai means nothing at all. There was a famous cereal advertisement. Okay, the last time I watched TV was with my Lama, 1998. And I think, you know, mostly. And then there was a commercial for a cereal called Nuts and Honey. And the wife comes in and says, what are you eating? And he says, nothing, honey. Nothing, honey, nothing. But it sounds like nuts and honey, anyway. Wait. 不是的没饭，没饭，没饭，不是的没饭。Okay. Yeah. No, honey, 蜂蜜, sorry. 不是的蜂蜜. Yeah, nothing honey. And anyway, this name of this level is nothing honey. Chiang Mai means nothing. Okay, nothing at all. It means nothing at all. Chiang Mai. Nothing. That was pretty bad. Okay, I'll stop trying to show off. Nah. Okay. Dushe me minki kecheni. I'm in a good mood. Some people know why. Dushe me minki kecheni. Okay. The next level has a weird name. The fourth level. Yeah. Dushe me min. Say dushe me. Dushe me min. Neither no thoughts nor not no thoughts. Okay, neither no thoughts nor not no thoughts. Neither thinking or not thinking. Neither thinking, not thinking, and also not thinking is the name of the level. Okay, I didn't write it, the Buddha did, okay? But I think it'd be a good name for a band. Okay, we keep looking for names. It's the hardest thing in the world to think of a name for your band. Okay. Dushe me minki kejini, dushe ni ne dan de dan sungu dushe me pane kundu mombo. Then they think about a quotation by Lord Buddha, who said, the act of thinking is a sickness, and it's pain. It's painful to think. They think about Buddha said, you know, when you think, it's like a sickness. And it's painful, okay? Then Buddha said, but not thinking is to stay in the darkness. Not thinking is to stay in the darkness. To think is painful. To not think is to be in the darkness. Dushe yumin me minni shiva. Then the Buddha said, if you could stay between those two, it would be peace, shiva. Kyanomba. Nick for $20. Kyanomba. Forget that. Okay, beautiful. It would be lovely. What's it called? Hang on. Guapo. It means guapa, exactly. Like cutie pie? Something like that. Okay. Kyanomba. Say kyanomba. So if you want to compliment a Tibetan lady, you can say kyanomba. But the word is 2,000 years old, so she'll probably say, huh? Kyanomba. Nyamdu yila che patela, nyamba jopa, nupe semse chipa tsundenda chipo. So it's staying in that, trying to stay between thinking and not thinking. Trying to stay between thinking and not thinking. And this is where you do not try to block the thoughts, but you don't engage with them. Okay? Then he says, Sungden dan chepa. Okay? You want to take a shot at that, Nick? Sungden? Sungden nga. Yeah, 5 ways that the main mind is linked to a mental function. There's 5 ways that the main mind is linked to mental functions. So he says, don't forget that although we're talking about a mental function, what's the mental function that we're talking about? Which mental function is always there during meditation? Well, that's general. That's main mind. Yeah, focus. Semtse chik, ekagra. Okay? Single point in mind. He says, don't forget with all of these descriptions, we're not talking about focus alone. We're talking about focus attached, connected with your whole mind, with awareness. Okay? So it's not only focus, it's the whole mind. Okay, we're going to do 3 things. We're read one more sentence, which is his criticism of the 8 levels. His warning package, what do you call it? On the cigarette package? Warning label, could cause cancer, use wisely. Okay? So we're going to do that. Then I'm going to do the opening ceremony so you can talk when you go pee-pee. All right? And that's just a 5-minute thing, I promise. And then, can we do you when we get back, Melissa? And then we're going to take a break, and then Melissa's going to come back and empty your pockets. But for Diamond Mountain. Okay, here's Tsongkhapa's, what do you call it? Warning label. After he teaches these levels, he says, Nyomon chengi samten nam la te dewa la ronya we sepa shechewa dang ngungi tar tawa la sope tawa nyamba kepa chepe tawa shechewa dang samten ki sem king bingagya shechewa dang ranki toba de tarlamina nyam tetsam shechewa. There's 4 problems. He says 4 warnings. 4 warnings, okay? Number 1, don't get attached to the taste of these meditations, especially the last 2. You know, don't stop there and say, oh, feels so nice, okay? Because while you're thinking that, your body is collapsing, okay? Your body is getting older, you know? If you stay in the last 2 levels for an hour, you're an hour closer to your death. Your body is not in the meditation, your body's getting older, okay? 2 more hairs got gray during that hour, okay, got it? So don't think this is the goal. This is not the goal, okay? He says, number 1. Number 2, ngungi tar tawa la sopa tawa nyamba kepa chepa. He says, these meditations can lead to the mistake of believing there was a beginning to samsara. There was a beginning to your mind. These meditations can lead you into the mistake of believing there's a beginning. Seiji's trying to figure out why. And tell us later, because I also don't know. We have to think about it. It's something we have to think about it, okay? I also haven't thought about it, so I'm not going to give you an answer. My Lama said, you cook it. Okay, 3rd one. Something ki sem king bengagyo. If you get good at sitting for 2 hours without moving, because you can put your mind in these infinity places, you will develop pride. You know, I'm a real practitioner. I can sit for 2 hours without moving, you know. You never know what's going on inside of a person's mind when they're sitting for 2 hours meditating, okay? But the Sakyas say 12 minutes is about the limit of a normal person, okay? 12 minutes of true focus is about the limit of a normal person. So I would say, you know, and I've done 3 retreats. I've done about 20 2-month retreats, and yeah, I think that's about right. Real focus, you know. If you sit for 3 hours, you probably will not benefit, okay? And probably you're just trying to show off, okay? All right? Okay. 4th one. So many short meditations is better for all of us. Doesn't matter how long you've been meditating, okay? Rangi topade tarlaminam nyam minnam tetsom shechewa. You will start to believe, you will start to suspect that especially the 7th and 8th ones are nirvana, okay? You will make that mistake. You will think these 2 levels are nirvana. So that's Tsongkhapa's warning about these 8, okay? I like to warn people that there's also listed that you will become forgetful, okay? You would like leave your phone somewhere and all your friends are always irritated. She's the girl who always leaves her phone somewhere. Did you remember to turn on location services? That you're spaced out about everything, okay? So that's a danger of these meditations. All right, I promised you a break, right? Okay, break.